sometimes we take on this journey of becoming better people, of growing, of leveling up, of regulating our emotions, of tapping into ourselves, into our spirit, of deepening our connection with God, right? We just get into a place in our lives where we want something to change. We want to do something meaningful for ourselves. And it's the smallest thing. I feel for me, I'm listing out things that, you know, that are more relevant for me. But take this as it resonates. So sometimes you want something in your life to change, or you're just doing something. You are choosing to hold yourself accountable. You're choosing to, be truthful with yourself. You're choosing to do something that is very silent, that, well, not everyone is seeing and not everyone is clapping for you and telling you, go on, go on. It is just something you're choosing to do in your heart, choosing to embrace change, choosing to create a change in your life, something so silent and so subtle, something between you and you, or between you and God. And I don't know, on these type of journeys, let me just refer to them as a spiritual journey, okay? Because it's like that thing you're doing for you in your own heart. On these types of spiritual journeys, there are moments when things feel so hard, so tough, and so confusing. And from where I'm standing right now, I would tell anyone, and I would tell myself, keep going anyway, because there'll be a time when it will be so worth it. Like the whole shebang, the whole thing, the whole taking accountability for your own actions, the whole choosing to be truthful with yourself, even when no one is seeing. It'll, at a given point in time, things will change remarkably, and it will make so much sense. And every tear you've cried, every moment of confusion, every moment you've been thrown into the darkness will make so much sense. Well, not because people will start seeing you and appreciate you for you being you. Well, that happens, but it's that the journey in itself pays off. You just start loving who you are. You love how you show up, not because there's like a reward for it, but I feel like there's always a divine reward because God sees, God always sees, but it's because something fundamental has happened within you, and you'll never see yourself the same way again, and you'll never experience yourself the same usual way. Being truthful comes easy, being accountable comes easy, taking responsibility for your actions, daring to look at your darkness, taking responsibility for the time you did something wrong. It just comes easier. And for some reason, when we do things like this, like we just know, you just start respecting yourself in a new way. In this journey, these endeavors, these things that we're doing for ourselves, the gift is never in what people think, in what people say, in what, well, it's never external. The gift comes in at that point where you just smile at the person you've become, where there's just, I don't know, so much love held in your being for who you are. and you can look back and just be proud of yourself. You can look back and the tears you shed and all these little difficulties and challenges along the journey. And it's just the journey of life anyway. All these challenges along, they become different. They become not just challenges, but a part of the journey that was always worth it. And I don't know, your perspective changes and it reshapes the world around you so that challenges become something that you embrace. Because if you have faced the many challenges that you have, trust me, you will face even more because now you're stronger and now you know that beyond the challenges, you have a wonderful, beautiful, strong soul that can overcome all those things. Well, Nairobi is so cold right now. Nairobi is so cold right now. I'm freezing. I don't know why I say that, but Nairobi is very cold in this moment. Anyway, this is for me arising from a place of reflection. I reflected back to um right after college. I came back home and the change was I wasn't taking it so well. Things were so different. I remember back in school, I would leave. I was living alone. I was living on my own terms, and everyone. That was one of the things in which I took a hit. It's when I came back home. I'm living with everyone else, with my parents, with my siblings. It was so different. Things were so different, and I took that change so hard. It probably doesn't make any sense to someone who can't relate. Strange, but for me, that change was, and I don't know, it was just the environment, the people. It is the life I had lived for 4 years of my life. The place where I was, so much had changed basically, and I wasn't taking the change so well. And I remember immediately after graduation, the first few months was so hard for me. I was crying almost every time. And now looking back, I realize even when it was hard on me, I always held on to faith. And it's making me realize how faith has been a very intricate, a very like a rock in my life. Just God. Faith has been a very important part of what makes me who I am ultimately. And anyway, if there is a point to this whole talk, this whole audio, it'll be like every endeavor you make within yourself, every internal journey, in the grand scheme of things, it matters. It matters so much. It counts for something. So any change you're choosing to make for yourself, just make it. Make it not for people to applaud you, but for you to just for you, just for you. And one thing I know is one who honors themselves will be honored by God. It's a strange thing how the universe reflects our best back to us with beautiful experiences, with things that don't resonate anymore. And you're like, oh my God, look at how I've grown, look at how I've changed, you know? Take that internal journey, whatever your soul is calling you to. Choose to know yourself a little bit more, you know, to honor yourself by just sitting in silence and praying and being a little bit more accountable for your actions, for yourself, honoring the responsibility that has been given to you, whatever that looks like for you, being a little bit more grateful, showing more gratitude. Feed your inner world, feed your soul, not because there is any applause, but because it's deeply fulfilling at the very end of the day. And sometimes something will come along that will break you, or that will dare to break you, but then it will break you open for something beautiful to arise from within you. The inner journey is always fulfilling, and it's challenging in its own ways. There will be tears, but as time goes, these tears will be something special. You will know it's part of the journey. You will know it's purposeful and it's beautiful in its own way. So honor yourself in the ways that you're being called to honor yourself. Do it your own way, literally your own way. Not how I am implying, not how anyone is saying. Begin from somewhere and trust yourself, trust your inner voice, and just do it your own way, because your way is the right way for you. Do it your own way. And love yourself without condition, because that is exactly how God loves you, without condition, and more, so much more than you can conceptualize or picture. So immerse yourself in that love and take that journey knowing you're held, you're loved, you're safe, and you're cared for. Bye.